Eagle, Idaho, once a quiet Boise suburb that was really known as the last town you would go through when you were headed up Highway 55 to escape to McCall or Donnelly for the weekend. Well, times have changed, and now Eagle is a certifiable relocation hotspot for so many people who are moving here from out of state, with, a lot of them coming from, you guessed it, California. So why and how did this once sleepy town just boom so quickly? What is its real appeal, and why is it the #1 city across the Treasure Valley that we are routinely asked about from almost all of our clients who call us looking to flee the Golden State? Well, stick around, because today not only will I be giving you all of the details, I'll be giving you an on-the-ground look so you can see for yourself. And then as we go, I'll also share with you some direct quotes from former Californians turned Idahoans. Find out straight from the horse's mouth what drew them initially to Eagle, hear all the reasons they love it, and then, well, to keep things balanced, because no place is a utopia after all, and no place is perfect for absolutely everyone, right? I'm also going to be throwing in a number of not so great things we've heard from people who moved to Eagle only to find themselves packing up and bouncing out. So by the end of this video, not only will you understand why it appeals to so many people, but you will also know why it may or may not be the perfect fit for you.
Spill.
Okay, so to kick things off, let's start with something a recent client of ours said to us after moving to Eagle from California. He has been living in Eagle for about a year and a half now. He said that Eagle is pretty much the equivalent to Newport, Laguna, or Huntington Beach in California, except you replace all the beaches with other water features, and then he said that nearby Meridian is kind of like Irvine. So if you lived in an area like Irvine in California, and if you are moving to Idaho, in his opinion, you might as well upgrade and go to Eagle. So to the Newport or Laguna equivalent, if you will, which I thought was a pretty interesting and kind of spot on comparison.
Nailed it.
So yep, home and community-wise, across Eagle, you will find countless luxury communities, many of which are built around water features and lakes with gorgeous waterfront views. The Boise River is right there, and its proximity to the foothills, as well as to everything that you can experience and embrace heading up Highway 55, so there's Cascade, McCall, and Garden Valley right up there. Well, all of those make it a highly desirable spot to call home. Communities such as Two Rivers, Williamson River Ranch, and Mace River Ranch are truly on another level. But honestly, I could go on and on about all of the amazing communities that make up Eagle. In fact, I have in previous videos such as this one, which I will link to in the description for you to check out later. Okay, so for Californians used to the Pacific Coast or Sierra Nevada, the Treasure Valley offers a truly refreshing backdrop for outdoor adventure. Eagle residents love that they have easy access to the Boise River Greenbelt, which is our 25-mile paved pathway that goes all the way from the Lucky Peak Dam in East Boise through the heart of Boise to past Eagle Road and almost all the way to the city of Star. If the Greenbelt is of interest to you, I will put a couple of links in the description of this video for you to check out so you can learn all there is to know about our beloved Greenbelt. And then of course, Eagle residents are also very close to Bogus Basin for skiing and snowboarding, as well as to the Sawtooth Mountains for hiking and camping, or the endless lakes, creeks, ponds, rivers, all of that just an hour or so north for paddleboarding, rafting, wakeboarding, boating, hiking, camping. You get the gist of it, just really all of the things. And then the Boise foothills are also right there in the north end of Eagle, with hiking and biking trails just kind of for days. And then there's also the Eagle Island State Park and the Eagle Bike Park. And then, and this often surprises people to learn, Eagle is also home to some fantastic wineries, such as Three Horse Ranch Vineyards, Dude DeWalt, and 3100 Cellars, just to name a few. Here's something that a dear friend of mine, who was actually originally a client back when I first got into real estate, that she said to me. She said that when she and her family were initially thinking about moving here from California, she was a bit worried that they would miss the incredible weather and just the general outdoors and how easy it was to spend time outdoors. Which, well, it has been a number of years since they moved here, and it did take some adjusting at first for sure, especially getting used to our 4 seasons and not just having consistently warm weather. But that said, fast forward to now, and she says that she knows without a doubt that her and her family spend 3 times as much time outside embracing nature than they ever did in California. And that's even with our varying weather patterns and seasons, because yep, we of course do have 4 seasons. All in all, Eagle's emphasis on outdoor lifestyle and its just overall slower pace of life is absolutely one of the biggest draws for Californians who are seeking a healthier and just more active environment and lifestyle. Now, let's talk about the cost of living that Eagle offers. So while Eagle is hands down the most expensive city to live in here in the Treasure Valley, well, as I often say about so many things that go into considering making an out-of-state move when you're comparing locations, it's all relative, right? Sort of like our take on traffic. Our version of a traffic jam here and road construction very easily might just make you, depending of course on where you're watching this from and where you're moving from, you might see our version of traffic and just kind of laugh at us.
You see things differently.
Just straight out to so many Californians, the home prices across Eagle are far more affordable than where they are currently living and moving here from. With the average home price here in Eagle for this year to date currently sitting at right around $980,000. And well, that might sound high, and well, it is compared to the other cities that make up the Treasure Valley. To see what I mean, here you can see all of the current average home prices across all of the cities that make up our valley. And well, while compared to these, yes, Eagle's average price point of $980K is relatively high. Compared though to many of the areas that our California clients are flocking here from, such as LA, San Francisco, Laguna Beach, or San Jose, well, yeah, it's all relative, right? In many cases, they can sell their 2,000 square foot home on a tiny patch of grass for Fluffy there in Cali, and with the proceeds, purchase a sprawling 4,000 square foot home on half an acre, smack dab on the water here in Eagle. So, well, for many, that's appealing.
Yeah. That sounds amazing.
Real fast, if this is your first time to our channel, hi, I'm Marcy Ellison, a local real estate agent here in Idaho's Treasure Valley. My husband, Andy, and I, well, we are a package deal, and our clients who find us just like you right here on YouTube routinely tell us that they love that they know exactly who they will be working with. Because, well, what you see is what you get. No bait and switch action here. Our goal with this channel is to put together on-the-ground videos that, well, that would have really helped us nearly 20 years ago when we were first contemplating moving here. So to keep learning about our booming area right alongside of us, please take a quick sec and hit that little subscribe button. And then if you have a video topic you would like to see featured in a future video, please post that down in the comments section. Okay, so enough about all of that. Let's dive back into Eagle.
Can we stay on topic?
Okay, so going back to the cost of living, let's now go beyond housing costs. In Eagle, everyday expenses like groceries, utilities, and transportation fees and recreation, they are all significantly lower than many other areas across California. Additionally, Idaho's income tax now tops out around 5.3% compared to California's 13.3%, making, well, yeah, a huge difference in long-term savings as well as just everyday comfort and affordability. If you're curious to learn more about our cost of living, we filmed a full video in which we dove all into our bills and just all the nitty gritty that goes into all that. I will put a link to that video in the description of this video for you to check out later.
Thanks, Marcy.
Now let's talk about jobs. Eagle's proximity to Boise means access to a diverse and growing job market. Tech, healthcare, education, and manufacturing are all expanding sectors here, with companies like Micron, HP, and Intuit maintaining very strong local presences. And then for many former Californians, remote work has become a complete game changer. Moving to Eagle allows many people to keep high-paying California-based jobs while enjoying a lower cost of living and just overall a better work-life balance. That said, if you decide to move here with a remote job from California, please do yourself a favor and be sure to do a little research to see how salaries for your same position and industry here compare to what you're being paid in California. While yes, you will be arriving here with your remote job from California and your agreed upon salary already in place, but well, over the past couple of years, we have seen a number of California-based companies call their remote workers back into the office. And that's especially true for positions that went remote during the pandemic. And well, we had two families who had to move back to California when their jobs changed, even though they really did not want to. But they had to move back because they could not find adequate replacement jobs here in Idaho that would pay the same amount and that would really allow them to keep their custom way of life. So while I am not saying that I think you're going to lose your job and find yourself in that position, heaven forbid, I hope not, but I just really think it's always better to plan ahead and just be prepared for it, right? Because finding yourself in that situation isn't something I would wish upon anyone, and certainly not you, my YouTube friend.
That's something we can all agree on, right?
Okay, so now let's talk about school safety and just the overall community vibe and feel. Families moving to Eagle often highlight the excellent schools and community's emphasis on safety. Just straight out, Eagle offers a slower pace of life than California's big cities, with more opportunities for families to connect with neighbors and really just enjoy local events and activities. If you are curious to dive into both the schools and the crime stats for Eagle, or really any of the cities that make up the Treasure Valley, I would highly encourage you to check out both greatschools.org and crimegrade.org. Both of these online resources are very helpful when it comes to wrapping your head around both of these important subjects. And when you do, you will see that Eagle's crime rates are significantly lower than national averages, and well, neighborhoods are really designed with families in mind with great schools. So this, of course, makes Eagle an incredibly attractive place to both raise a family and raise kiddos, and also to retire in. Eagle has become known as a top spot for retired firefighters, first responders, police officers, active service members, and veterans alike. So that alone certainly appeals to many Californians who are flocking California to get away from, well, let's just say the opposite of all of that, right? That want to be in a place where people support and respect their men and women in blue, because that's exactly what you're going to find here in the Treasure Valley and definitely in Eagle. So now, location-wise, Eagle is in a pretty fabulous spot here in the Treasure Valley. Residents love that they are only about 10 miles from downtown Boise, 8 miles from the awesome outdoor shopping that we have over at the Village of Meridian, and that's our outdoor mall. And then it's also just about 15 miles from the Boise airport. And then hospital-wise, St. Luke's in Meridian is just about 7 miles south down Eagle Road. And then there's also St. Alphonsus in Boise that's just about 9.5 miles to the southeast. And then they also have an Albertsons and a Winco for groceries, as well as a number of great restaurants there like Crave, Koa, and Rembrandt's. So really, all in all, nothing is too far away. Okay, so now what are some reasons that actually push people away from Eagle? Because again, no place is a utopia and Eagle's not for everyone. To keep this video from being the never-ending video, I will actually post a link to a video that I recently filmed in which I dove into this very topic. I will put a link to that in the description of this video for you to check out later. Okay, so now let's talk about the overall vibe and just feeling that you'll find in Eagle. Chances are this is either gonna appeal to you or it's gonna send you running in the other direction altogether. While the downtown area of Eagle still has that more quaint and picturesque vibe and feel, and there are some communities such as Brookwood and Lexington Hills that are super well established and definitely still have it, most people today would describe Eagle as being more upscale and just, well, a bit more bougie than the rest of the cities that make up the Treasure Valley. It's just a bit fancier and ritzier. For this one, I will share two different takes from past clients turned friends of ours. One of our clients who moved here from California during the pandemic, and as he would describe it in his own words, was in panic buyer mode back when he bought in 2021. Well, fast forward today, and he is now planning on selling and moving to another suburb, and so probably either Star or Meridian. And he's doing that because he now thinks that he bought too quickly and has decided that Eagle is, and I quote, a lot of fluff. He went on to share that he doesn't like how similar to the area of California that he fled here from, well, that he feels his neighborhood that he's living in now is sort of becoming that. And he even called the neighborhood, I'm not gonna call it out, but if you're curious, reach out to me and I'll let you know. He called it a California wannabe. And yes, I got his full approval to include his sentiments in this video.
Good, because...
Oh, that will raise some eyebrows.
Good.
And while it has got to be said that yes, a lot of new Eagle residents moved here from California. In fact, between 2020 and 2025, Eagle's population jumped by almost 24%, 23.8% to be exact, with the city estimating that over half of those new residents having moved here from California. So, well, if you choose to make Eagle your home, chances are you will have at least a few, if not a lot, of other former Californians as your new neighbors.
It looks very familiar.
Yes.
I thought they looked familiar.
And then hey, on the completely other side of the coin though, we have some other completely lovely clients who purchased a beautiful home right here in Mace River Ranch, right off the river, and well, they could not be happier with their decision. They absolutely love having access to the communities, ponds, lakes, swimming pool, and yep, the Boise River is right there. They just love it. So for them, it's the perfect spot, and they couldn't be happier. It was quote unquote the perfect move and spot for them, and gosh, not a Newsom lover in sight. So take that as you will.
Roger that.
And they also commented that yes, they have a large number of former Californians as their neighbors, but their take is significantly different than our other clients, as they feel like their neighbors moved to Eagle for what they deem as being the right reasons, and that they are now here and just determined to keep Eagle Eagle, opposed to turning it into the areas of California that they fled from. So it's interesting to have both of those takes and perspectives. Okay, so now, what is the number one reason Californians state for choosing Eagle over some of the other Treasure Valley cities such as Boise, Meridian, or Star? Well, most often it's because it offers a more upscale, scenic, and outdoor lifestyle with larger homes and lots, strong schools, and safe community feel, and just convenient access to both the outdoors and urban amenities. So yep, I guess I didn't just stick with one thing, but all of those together make Eagle what Eagle really is and why it appeals to so many. While Boise offers culture and Meridian offers suburban convenience and Star offers affordability, Eagle combines prestige, space, and lifestyle in a way that just really seems to resonate with many relocating Californians. And then yes, many Californians are able to sell their modest homes in say LA, San Francisco, the Bay Area, or San Diego, and buy a large custom home here with land. And sometimes they can do it mortgage-free. So while the other cities in the Treasure Valley are more affordable than Eagle, Eagle is ultimately seen as a place to upgrade their lifestyle while still paying far less than they would be in California. With its mix of suburban charm, access to Boise, and outdoor lifestyle, it's really no wonder that so many are trading California for the Treasure Valley. If you're considering a move from California, Eagle might just be the perfect place for you. Please take 2 seconds to jot down our number so you have it on hand if and when you are ready to take that next step. My husband Andy and I are here and would just love to talk through what the process would look like for you and just talk through your unique situation and help you find your perfect spot here. Or if you aren't quite ready to take that step and hop on the phone with a realtor, I get it. There are some realtors out there that I don't want to hop on the phone with either. If that's the bucket that you currently fall into, no worries at all. I completely get it. So we have a completely free, no strings attached relocation guide that is just packed full of information about everything you need to know about living here in the Treasure Valley. Here is the physical version of it, but I will post a copy of the digital version for you to download and peruse through at your leisure. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time.